everyone, my name is Marie. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I am again building in the new world that came with the Growing Together expansion pack, the World of Sand Sequoia. And today I'm working on a rec center, which is a brand new community lot type that came with this pack. And oh my goodness, this lot is huge. It's a 64 by 64 in the, I guess, kind of like downtown area of Sand Sequoia. And yeah, the lot is huge. I think the amount of times I have built anything on a 64 by 64, you can count on one hand because I avoid them with a passion. 64 by 64 is way too big. It's super intimidating and I don't know what to do. But I really like this location for the rec center, so I didn't really want to place it anywhere else. And also I just really like the lot and I also really like the challenge. So I was like, let's do this. Let's build a rec center on the 64 by 64 and see what we can come up with. I basically did the entire exterior of the build on stream. So I had my chat to just, leave choices up to them, and I guess also just kind of decide together what would look good, because I didn't have a plan going into this other than I wanted it to be modern. So the original rec center that comes with the pack is one that's built by Little Simsy, and that one obviously is gorgeous. I really like what she did. But also I want to give it my own spin, you know, I want to try something for myself as well. So that is what I did for this one. And yeah, it's huge. I didn't fill up the entire lot with the build though. We do have a lot of like landscaping and just pathways and things going around, which I feel like the landscaping for me was the most difficult part. Like filling up the lot with the pathways and things. And I also really wanted to not clutter the build up too much because it is such a huge lot. There's going to be so many items. The build is big and I wanted it to be like to be very easily accessible, if that makes sense. So if you have a lower end computer or laptop, you can still like use it without it being too laggy in that sense. So that is what I really try to keep in mind, like gameplay, just to not clutter it up too much and not have it be laggy at all. So that's kind of what I tried to keep in mind, and I think I succeeded. I think I did well. But yeah, like I said, I didn't really have any sort of plan going into this at all whatsoever, other than it like being modern. That is something that I really, really wanted to do. So I basically just got started by placing down boxes upon boxes upon boxes and kind of like shaping it until the shape became something that I enjoyed. I also ended up adding on a little rounded section, which my chat was yelling at me for, which I understand because rounded walls are glitchy and annoying. But I mean, the build was feeling a little bit too angular and I really wanted to break it off with something. So I felt like the rounded section actually looked really, really good and I kept it. And then chat also agree with me. So I kept it there. It was glitchy though with the windows. I did cut out some parts of this because otherwise, I mean, this video is already so long. Just the bare footage is over 31 minutes. Just the speed build portion, that is. So I'm so sorry. My speed builds have been so long for the past few, I don't know, I want to say months already. I feel like my speed builds are very long, but it's just what it is. I mean, I try to keep them as short as possible, but they just end up being very long. So I hope you don't mind. I personally always really enjoy longer speed builds. I can watch them over a few sittings, or I'll just watch them when I want to take like one longer break or like during my lunch break or whatever. So I personally always really enjoy it, but yeah, I hope you enjoy the longer ones as well. And if not, then you can always skip to the very end of the video where I will be giving you a complete tour of the build, which is obviously a bit shorter, so then you can still see the completed build that way. So that's just a little tip, but yeah, I don't know, you can see it come together. It's very modern. I was just kind of going all over the place with this one. What I did for this one was I did the exterior first. I kind of shaped the build obviously as well, and then I shaped the rest of the lot, kind of where I wanted the basketball court to go and the play area and the pool and whatnot. And then I moved on to the interior actually before I did the rest of the landscaping, which is kind of strange. I usually just like to finish the entire like exterior first before I start to do the interior. I do always figure out a floor plan though before I get started on the landscaping, because that way I have a little bit more freedom. Maybe I need to adjust like some walls or some like shapes or sizes of rooms. And if you have all the landscaping already in place, then that might be a little bit frustrating and annoying because you need to redo some parts. So yeah, but as soon basically as I got the floor plan done, as soon as I got it figured out, basically, I just kind of got started on the interior as well, just to finish it, basically, just to get it out of the way. And also I was really just procrastinating the entire landscaping because, like I said, it was a lot of space. It was a really big lot. I was kind of avoiding it at that point. So yeah, I got started on the interior before I did the landscaping. But I do really like how the lot, like the entire layout of the lot basically came together. We have a nice pool. This is a limited pack build, but it's not only base game in the new pack, but I did really try to minimize the amount of packs. So basically what I decided to do was I'll only use the packs that come with activities that I think would be nice for this lot. And then I'll really try to only use the stuff for that one specific activity. So for example, I used City Living because I really wanted a basketball court, but I didn't use City Living for anything else. And then I also used Spa Day because I wanted to have a yoga room, but I only used Spa Day for that yoga room section of the build. So yoga room, and then also like a dressing room and a couple of bathrooms. That's what I used that for. I also used the backyard stuff pack because I use that slippy slide thing by the pool that I really never ever use, but someone very specifically requested that on Twitch, and I thought that that was actually a really, really good idea. So I decided to place that by the pool. It might be very usable and just also fun for your Sims as an activity. So I used that pack. And then I also used Get Together, but only for a dance floor. We have like one little dance floor. There is a party room in this build, like on the second floor. I thought it'd be very useful to have a little room with a bar and like a table and a little dance floor and a stereo, just so that you have a space for like parties. If you want to celebrate a birthday party, if you want to do a family reunion, maybe if you want to do a baby shower, then that room would come in handy. And I thought a dance floor would be cute in there. So I decided to place a dance floor, but it's obviously not necessary. So basically what I tried to do with incorporating these different packs is, yes, I use stuff from these packs, but if you only have the base game and the new pack, you can still use it. There will just be some activities missing that you might want to replace with something else. For example, the basketball court, you could turn into a second playground. Maybe the fitness room, you could turn into a second gym upstairs. We also have a separate gym downstairs, but maybe you want to have a second one upstairs. The dance floor, obviously, you don't even need. As long as you have a stereo, you can just dance. So it can just be deleted. You might want to add a rug, something like that. But that way it would still be very usable, and everything would be very easy to replace, to only make it base game and the new pack. So basically, if you download this with only the new pack installed, it will look basically the same, except there will be some activities that aren't there, but like easily replaceable, like easy to redecorate or fill up with something else. I hope that makes any sense. I think it does. But yeah, that is what I tried to do for this one. And yeah, it actually turned out really nice. I did leave in me fiddling around with the floor plan for this one. Usually I cut it out, especially for very, very big builds like this one. But I feel like the floor plan is a very essential part of this build to kind of just get a look and feel of what it all looks like. So I hope that comes across that way as well with the sped up footage. But like I said already, I will obviously be also touring the build at the end of the video to give you a little bit of an overview of the build. And I don't know, I'm very proud of this one. What it is with community lots is I really like them, but they're always super intimidating to get started on for some reason. And then once I do get started and once I get the hang of what I want to do with it, I always really enjoy it. And it was the same for this one as well. So a rec center, it kind of like, as I was furnishing and as I was building, it kind of made sense to me, because at first I was like, okay, why is this on a 64 by 64? Why is this lot so big? Well, now I understand it. Because a rec center basically is just a whole lot of different community lots in one. It's a gym, it's an art center, it's a library, like it's all these things in one. It doesn't have to be, but I think it does want you to add bookcases. Actually, maybe not. It wants you to add gaming tables, and I only use the gaming tables that came with this pack. And then it also wants you to add some workout equipment as well. But basically a rec center. Oh, and it also wants you to play some musical instruments. So it's like all these, and also, by the way, art supplies. Oh my God, okay. So it is so many different things in one. And ideally you would want all these things in its own separate little space, its own separate little area. And then you also want an area for kids to play. And now these days also obviously for infants. You want a couple of areas where you could just leave your infants for a couple minutes while your sim goes to the bathroom. I don't know. So I placed some baby gates, some like, just separated little areas for kids to play with toys in the baby gate. And then I think only infants can't escape the baby gate. And then the children obviously can. And then I think toddlers as well. So that's a little bit of a hassle still. So basically, just to talk you through the build a little bit, you could just see me decorate the front desk situation. It doesn't really need a front desk. A front desk isn't really functional in The Sims, but I have this like hallway space with a staircase and stuff and like one little bathroom. So I figured, you know what, let's just do a little front desk section just to add a little bit of realism, I guess. So I created a little desk out of island counters with a computer and stuff, and just create a little bit of an entryway that way. And then we have an archway off to the side leading into this, I guess, middle part of the build. And I just turned this into like a hangout space. So we have a couple couches, like a nice seating area where maybe the parents can sit and hang out and read a book while they're also like watching their kids playing in the little playground area. And then we have a little kitchenette over there as well, so you can make yourself some coffee, maybe like grab a snack or something. There's a fridge as well, so you can go for some quick meals here. And then I also ended up placing a couple of round dining tables. I love these round tables that came with this pack, by the way. They're so cute. And all the colorful furniture from the pack that I hadn't had a chance to use yet. I mean, I used a lot of it, but not like in the very bright swatches. But for this rec center, it actually all very much came in handy, which is obviously also what it's meant for, because this lot type came with the pack. So naturally the pack came with furniture to fill up the space. And yeah, all the bright colored stuff really came in handy for this one, because as far as I understand it, rec centers are obviously for the entire family, but also very much catered towards kids. So you kind of want to like use lots of bright colors, make it all very like happy and colorful looking. So that's kind of what I try to do, especially here in the kids area. I use a lot of blue and yellow. Blue and yellow is actually a combination that I use a lot throughout this build. So also for the exterior, what I did cut out was me fiddling around with the exterior wallpapers, but maybe you remember from when we were working on the exterior before, I used a lot of yellow, blue, and then a little bit of light gray to tone it down. And I kind of continued that color scheme here on the interior as well. So yeah, I think that turned out really, really cute. And let me know, have you already played a lot with this pack and also with this lot type? Let me know what you think. I obviously did do a little bit of play testing as well to kind of see how everything worked. And I loved seeing it in action. There were immediately people running towards the game tables that we will be working on a little bit later. And yeah, there was people using the gym, and I feel like the floor plan, like the routing was really nice for this one as well. It's something I always really try to take into consideration is the routing with lots that are this big. You really want that to be as efficient as possible, I guess, with lots of doors, lots of archways, lots of possibilities for your Sims to route the place, if that makes sense. So that's what I try to do. Lots of little shortcuts and stuff everywhere. So I feel like that makes sense and makes the lot very much usable in that sense. But here we have a very large space on the left side of the build, and this is the area where we have the rounded walls. And this area I was, for one, most excited for, but also it gave me the most trouble because of the round walls. I think it was a little bit more difficult. I'm not very used to using round walls. I barely ever use them. So it was a little bit of a challenge to make a layout in this space that actually made sense. But basically what I did was for the straight walls, I just placed bookcases on either side. I used the bookcases with the weird like shapes incorporated, like the shape shelves. I don't really know what to call them. It's not my favorite swatch of these bookcases, but I love them for the rec center. I think they look really, really cute. And if you want to make like a children's section in a library or something, they are perfect for that as well. Which basically, this is not like a children's section of a library, but this library can definitely also be used by children, is what I was envisioning. So we have bookcases, we have a couple of desks with computers in here. There are some like random seating spaces with a couple chairs and a little coffee table if you want to sit down and read a book. I ended up placing chess tables in here as well. And then that is where the fiddling around started, because at first I was going to place easels, but then I was like, you know what? No, we'll put the easels upstairs somewhere. I'll have a spot for that upstairs. So I ended up not placing easels in here, but I did end up placing 2 additional couches in like the middle of the rounded section of the room. And I think that that looks really, really nice. You can just sit there, read a book, just hang out for a little bit. And we also have some chess tables and then also some bonsai trees, because it is basically a sunroom with all the windows around. I thought that the bonsai trees would look really cute. And then I also ended up placing 2 creativity tables for children in here. I was already gonna place them upstairs because I was planning on doing a little art nook there. But then I also just ended up placing them in here. So we'll have, there's 4 kids creativity arts tables total in this build, which is plenty, but the build is big, so it only makes sense, I guess. And then here, also on the ground floor, I wanted this to be like, basically like in your face, just right there when you enter the build, because I feel like the game room is the main feature for the rec center. Like that is what it really wants you to have, is an area to play puzzles and other games. So I ended up placing 4 game tables, 2 2-seaters, 2 4-seaters. So lots of Sims can play games at the same time. And then for the rest of this room, I was struggling with it, as you may be able to tell, maybe not, but I was definitely struggling. So I ended up placing some shelves on either side, like some storage, because that's where I was imagining the people of this place like would store all the games for the people to use. So a couple of very, very big cabinets where all the games would be stored. I ended up also placing a TV in here because why not? And also a stereo. So maybe it might get a little noisy in here. Maybe you want to delete one of those things, or maybe both. I don't know. But I thought it'd be a nice addition to that game, and it'll actually, you'll see how it plays out, I guess. I guess it'll be fine. When I playtested the build, no one actually used the TV in there, so, which was nice. It was nice. It was more so to fill up the space. And then here we have an extra little hallway, and this is where I placed an additional bathroom. I at first didn't place a toilet, but off camera I added a toilet anyway. So this is a changing table bathroom, basically. What would you call that? Like an infant's hygiene room, I guess, which at the same time also is just a bathroom for regular Sims. Not that infants aren't regular Sims, but you know what I mean. So there is a bathroom in there, and then also a changing table for your Sims to use if they need it. And then we moved on to the second floor. So here we have a landing area, basically, where I created another area for kids to play, like another baby gate area, basically. And then this is where we have the art corner, where I placed an additional 2 creativity tables and then also a couple of easels. And then off of this landing here, where I placed the sticker, like the decal on the wall, is where you'll be entering the yoga space. But first here we have the second, slightly smaller kids play area. What I love about this area is that obviously not only infants will be using this space, like also children will just kind of autonomously go in here because there's toys. And I just think that that is so cute. You can just see them, like kids of all ages. You can just kind of see them. I said that really weird. I was going to say kids of all ages, and then I said kids of all age, and it was really strange. Anyway, but you can just see them all playing together in there, and it's just so cute. And then here we have the yoga space. So obviously you need a little bit of a changing room situation. It's not actually necessary for Sims to have that, but it's just more realistic. But it would be nice to have some showers because yoga does tend to make your Sims very stinky. So I felt like it'd be nice to have some showers off of the yoga space as well. So that's what I did. We also have some showers downstairs in the gym, but it's far away from this space of the build. So I decided to do some additional showers here as well. I wasn't going to at first, but then I did it anyway. And then here we have the yoga room. So we have 1 instructor yoga mat and then 6 regular yoga mats for Sims to take the class. I don't think a yoga instructor actually spawns because I did play just a lot and there was no yoga instructor, but I might be wrong actually, but I don't think a yoga instructor spawns. I think my cat is in here. Hi cat, her name is Floop. She just came to say hello. She also left. So yeah, there is a place for your Sims to do yoga, and then you can just have your Sim click the instructor mat and hire an instructor. That does cost some money, I guess, but I guess it's fine. The same goes for this area. So off of the landing, we have this glass door, and this is where we have the party space. So I decided to add in a little bar. So if you wanted to add a bartender, maybe you will have like a party here at some point that is just for only adults, or maybe like a baby shower or something, you might want to add a bartender. So I wanted to add that possibility with a little bar. So that's what I did here, and also another kitchenette so your Sims can grab some snacks. And then a nice 6-seater dining table. I ended up placing high chairs on either side of the table as well, because maybe you want to celebrate your infant's birthday here, or maybe you just want to have a family reunion in here, and then you can bring your infants. They can sit in the high chairs. And then obviously I tried to leave enough space to route around, but also to, like, if you have a play mat in your inventory or a crib in your inventory, there might be a way for you to place that in here as well. So you can leave your toddler in there. If you have some toys in your inventory that you brought for the toddler, you can just place that on the floor and have the infant or toddler play on the floor with some toys. So that's kind of what I tried into consideration for this one. But I really like this addition of a party room. I wasn't going to do that. That was not in my original plan for this. I did like make an entire list of what I wanted to include because it's a lot for a rec center. And if I hadn't written it down, I would have forgotten something for sure. But someone in my chat on Twitch actually suggested a party room with a bar, and I thought that that was such a good idea, because you know how when you organize events through the calendar in gameplay, you can just select a lot where you want to celebrate, or where you want the entire thing to take place, basically. Well, you could just have it be at the rec center, and then you can have your Sims come up here and celebrate here. And then here off of the party room, we have the music room, basically, and I decided to go for a tiny stage in here. The room itself is only small, but I guess it still fits. So I decided to go for a tiny little stage in here with a nice colorful piano. I freaking love this piano. I hadn't gotten a chance to use the colorful swatches yet. So I was really happy to be including them in here. It's so pretty. I also included a regular, I guess, white swatch of the piano in this room as well. So maybe there could be some like piano lessons or something. I thought that was cute, but we just basically have a tiny stage with a piano, some guitars, and also a microphone. So your Sims can basically do all those activities as well. They can do singing, they can do playing the guitar, playing the piano, whatever, obviously, as well. So I thought that was really cute. And then I also placed some chairs so that you can have a tiny little audience, or maybe when your Sim is performing jokes by the microphone or whatever, they can have a tiny audience. I thought that would be so cute. I don't know if Sims will actually sit down when they watch a performance. Maybe they will just randomly, awkwardly stand up there, but I don't know, maybe they will sit down. It's something fun to try, I guess. And then here we have a balcony as well. This is where I ended up placing some of the science tables for kids. I totally forgot those existed, but then I came across them and I thought, you know what, let's put them on the balcony. Kids tend to set the place on fire when they use those things. So I was like, you know what, let's put them on the balcony. I don't know if Sims would actually set fire to a community lot. Is it possible for Sims to set fire to a community lot? I actually don't know if that's possible. Let me know if you know more about this, or if you have tried this at all. And then for the rest of this balcony, I just placed a couple of benches, and obviously also a telescope, because that I felt like would come in handy for this. I have the space for it. So you know what, that was kind of like my whole thing when I was building this lot, was like, let's try to fit in as many activities as I possibly can without like overusing packs, like skill building items and activities. So that is basically what I went with, and I think I did a great job. You can basically do anything here, except for like buy coffee. You can make coffee, but there is no like cafe or restaurant section or whatever. That's not really a thing here. But yeah, downstairs here in the basically separated section of the build that is separated from the rest of the ground floor, we have a gym. This was the perfect space for a gym. I, right from the get-go, decided that this would become the gym because it was just perfect. We could fit some bathrooms and a changing room in there, and it would leave us with enough space for all the workout equipment as well. So yeah, we have quite a lot of machines in here, like workout machines. We have some treadmills, we have a couple of weightlifting machines, and then also some punching bags. And then I just basically decorated the space with mirrors and rugs and just some decals on the wall and stuff as well. Later on, I also placed a couple of doors across from the ones right there by the punching bags, basically, because of the way I ended up like shuffling around some stuff on the lot. So it would be like routing wise, it would come in handy to have an extra door basically on the other side. Makes it sounds a little bit vague right now, but you'll see what I mean when we get to it. So here, this lot type, or this pack, I should say, actually came with its own lockers as well, which I thought was so cool. They really came in handy for both this area and also the yoga space. So that's where I placed them. And we have a couple of showers and toilets in here as well. It's all very simple. Like I already said, I didn't really go overboard with clutter for this one at all. I really tried to keep the decorations to a minimum, but still try to obviously make it look cozy, lived in, used, like people like it's busy and crowded on a daily basis. So that's basically what I tried to do. And yeah, here I ended up doing some makeshift planter boxes, and I think it turned out really, really nice. So this is where the struggle began, basically. We finished the entire interior of the build, and this is where the filling up the rest of the lot started, basically. And my God, it was such a struggle. I like how it came together. It just took me a long time. It took me a lot of sitting back, looking at it, looking at what I didn't like, looking at what I needed more of. So yeah, it took me a little bit. You won't really be able to tell from the footage, obviously, because it's all sped up, and I paused the recording a lot throughout this build as well because I needed to just figure things out. But basically here on the side, or in the back, I should say, we have a pool area with a nice terrace where I ended up placing a grill. I thought that would be cute for your Sims to be able to like do some grilling. We have some picnic benches on either side of the pool, I should say. And then here we also have the slippy slide thing that I was talking about in the very beginning of the video. That is an item that came with the backyard stuff pack. But if you don't have the backyard stuff pack, this will be the only item that you're missing. So I guess you could just replace it with something else. Maybe some more lounge chairs, maybe some more picnic tables, maybe like a swing set or some extra outdoor play equipment for children. I also ended up doing another baby gate area out here as well. I thought that would make a lot of sense to have a nice little space for infants to hang out when maybe the parents are going for a little swim. Obviously you kind of want to watch your infants like all the time. So you can't just leave them there and go for a swim, I guess. But maybe you're here with two people and then one of them can just watch the infant for a second, the other one can go for a swim. I don't really know. I don't have kids. I'm not a kids person. I don't really know how it works, but I really try to take everything into consideration. I think you can kind of tell. And then at the very end, I also decided to place some planter boxes because I thought it'd be cute to have a little planter or a gardening area out here as well, like a little bit of a community garden space, I guess. It's not extremely usable because plants don't actually grow on the lot when you're not actively here. So if you wanted to use this lot to grow plants or grow crops, it doesn't really work because it will only grow when you're actually here. So you can't just plant stuff, go home and come back the next day. That is not, unfortunately not how gardening works in The Sims, or it used to at least. I'm not sure if they changed it, but I don't think they did. But still it'd be cute to have a space to work on gardening skill and just do some random planting. Maybe you want to do some family gardening because children can garden these days as well. So that would be really cute. And then here I basically just tried to fill up the rest of the space. There are so many picnic benches that I incorporated throughout this lot. So many picnic benches, but it just felt like it would make sense because, I don't know, the rest of the lot kind of feels like one big park or something, because we have the playground, we have the basketball court. You can't really access the, well, you can from the back, but that is more like a back entrance, I guess. But I was gonna say you can't really access the pool without actually accessing the build first, which I like that. It felt more realistic to me because otherwise it'd be just open to the front of the lot, but I kind of closed it off with a makeshift elongated planter box, I guess. So that's what I did. But then obviously we have the little back entrance as well, where we have the grill and stuff. So you technically can, but you would need to walk all the way around. I think your Sims will probably still go inside first and then route through the build to get to the pool. Which was kind of what I was going for as well. And then for the landscaping, I didn't want to go overboard. I really wanted to try and leave some grass patches empty because I thought it'd be realistic, and otherwise it would also become way too full and way too messy and way too laggy with all the landscaping. So I obviously did do some landscaping, some like trees and bushes and hedges and things. And then here on the side, we have a little side entrance into the gym where I parked some bikes, which I thought was cute. And then also some benches along the pathways and some bins, like outdoor bins and stuff. But I really tried to go for some like empty grass patches that are supposed to be empty and supposed to look the way they look, if that makes sense. I really always like to go overboard with landscaping and make everything look very overgrown and stuff, but for this lot, it just really didn't make that much sense. So I tried to steer away from it, and I think it actually looks all right. And then I just added a couple of decorations to the roof as well, but that is basically it. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the lot in real time. So here we have the rec center in the game. Looking at it again, I actually am very happy with how it came out. It looks crowded, but not overly so, and I feel like it's not too overwhelming, and I like the colorfulness of it all. It's just, it looks very happy, and that is exactly what I was trying to go for. So out front here, as you can see, we have the basketball court. We also have the playground down here with some extra picnic benches as well. And then for the rest, we just have some makeshift planter boxes. And then up here is where we have the main entrance. But I'll quickly show you around the back first, because back here we have the little gardening section, some more picnic benches, surprise, surprise. And then here we have the back entrance to the pool, basically. So we have a nice pool, a children area with a baby gate, the splash slippy slide thing, and then also some lounge chairs, of course. And then underneath here we have doors leading inside, and then we also have a door leading into the gym back here. So when we go inside through the main entrance, we have this hallway front desk situation. Someone left a book here. You can see that I tried to play test it because there's a book on the floor. We'll just pop it here real quick. That's fine. So yeah, a front desk situation. And then here, this I was kind of imagining would maybe be like some lost and found stuff. Maybe a kid left their backpack here. Maybe these books belong to a sim. Maybe this is a basket of like lost and found little toys. I thought that was a cute, like realistic idea. I feel like a lot of stuff and toys would be left behind in a place like this. Then back here we have a bathroom, and back here we have the other little hallway. But over on this side, we have the hangout space. I love this area. So we have a couple of tables and chairs here to, I don't know, just have some food or do homework or just read a book or just hang out. A nice seating area over here so you can watch the little ones playing. And then here we also have a little kitchenette where you can make yourself some coffee, grab some water, grab a snack, whatever. And also a nice crib over here. And then through these glass doors, we have the, I guess you could call it, library section of the build. I love the skylights in here. It's just, the lighting that it gives off is just so pretty. So yeah, we have some desks here. As you can see, we have some bookcases basically on either side. And I really like these little seating areas with the two chairs, the round coffee table and the round rug. Like everything is very round. And then we have a seating spot here kind of in the middle as well, and some chess tables. games, just a whole bunch of activities basically. And I really like this board with kids drawings on it. I think that is so cute. Maybe there has been like a children's like drawing contest or whatever, and maybe these are like all the entries or something. I don't know. I just think it's really, really cute. Then over here we have that one little hallway, and this is where we have a changing table / bathroom for your Sims to use as well. Then when we go upstairs, we have this landing situation that I tried to fill in as best as I could. So we have another baby or children play area, I should say, and then also an arts corner for both adults and children. And then over here is where we have the yoga space. So a nice spacious changing room, and then 2 bathrooms basically on either side, and then a glass door leading into the actual yoga room. Very, very spacious, but that's most definitely needed for these things. It just takes up a lot of space, and I didn't want there to be any routing issues. So yeah, I tried to set it up as spacious as I possibly could. And then over here we have the party area. I love this one. I love these balloons. I think these are unlockables actually, but I always built with cheats, so I can just use them. But I felt like it was really helpful to kind of show you that this is supposed to be like a birthday or party or family reunion just kind of area, if that makes sense, with a nice dining table and also some high chairs, its own little kitchenette, a bar. I also placed some gifts back here, and then there's some more bathrooms up here as well. So just very simple sink and toilet, and a nice dance floor. I love that it's purple. It felt like it added just a nice little extra touch of color. And then over here we have the music room. This turned out so cute. I could totally see like little children perform what they had learned in the past few weeks during their piano lessons, just like kind of up there. I thought that'd be so cute. And I feel like this area is very usable for Sims as well. And then there's another piano and some more books back here. I was thinking these would be like music books, but obviously they're not, but I liked the idea. And then out here we have a balcony space with some science tables, a hangout space over here, and a nice telescope as well for your Sims to use. And then down here is where we have the gym. Very nice and spacious as well. We have some treadmills with a TV, and then through here we have the rest of the workout machines as well. Some mirrors on the wall, and then also a changing room as well as some bathrooms. But yeah, that is basically it for this lot. So the Sequoia Rec Center is now up on the gallery. It uses only growing together, city living, get together, spa day, and backyard stuff. So definitely a limited pack build, and it's built on the 64x64 where the original rec center is also located. So if you want to place it in your game, then that is where it goes. But that is going to do it for today's video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download it off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can also follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmary Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/Simmary Sims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!